Hello, welcome back, Jonathan Medina. Another episode of Magic Finance Method. Now, this is episode 2, but it might never see the light of day. We'll see what you guys thought about the first one. Man, the first one was long, 22 minutes of me just looking through deck lists. I find that extremely boring, but maybe you might not. And so today we're going to do much of the same. It's actually the same day. I'm just going to keep looking through Commander 1v1 deck list, and I'm looking for cards that are viable in Commander 1v1 and in multiplayer Commander. Let's see what this guy's about. Duretti. Duretti sees a handful of play in different. I think I've seen him in a vintage deck. He's been played in legacy decks. Let's take a look. We'll see what decks he's in when we go. This is EDH Rec. And we'll go. I like to use MTG stocks to figure out what decks cards are in. Okay, legacy decks. Maybe it was a legacy deck that I saw him in, not vintage. Two legacy decks, not a big presence in legacy, but in Tezzeret Control, he's in there. Let's see, his main deck, Duretti, right there. Okay, one of one of Planeswalker in Legacy. What does this guy do? Put a 1/1 colorless construct artifact creature token into play. You may sacrifice an artifact. If you do, destroy target artifact or creature. Okay, so it's 3 mana, which is sweet. Choose an artifact in the graveyard and one of the best. So he's basically Goblin Welders. Oh no, he doesn't welder. He puts 3 tokens that are copies of that. Wow. So he just like copies an artifact 3 times. Man, he's $11. Let's take a look at what he's at on TCG Player. Yeah, the reason he's $10 is because this conspiracy set is not very widely opened. Um, so I just got to ask myself. I know that the product was super cheap at one time. Like you can get booster boxes for like 65, $70, and so I think a lot of people are sitting on that product. I don't know if they're ever going to open it. If they open it, this guy goes down. If they don't, then he just keeps going up because he's playable in Legacy and playable in um, Commander. That stuff doesn't scream at me broken. $10 is more than I really want to spend on a single card. So if I bought like 100 copies of that, that'd be $1,000. I want to buy 100 copies of something smaller that has a more potential to grow. So, because that's in Legacy, it's already got some attention. We want things with a little bit of attention. So I'm gonna start looking through these a little bit faster, looking for things, interesting things that are not normal. And I say normal because I've been playing EDH. I play a lot of Commander in my time. So, when I see things, I try to keep like a big matrix of information in my mind about like where cards are played. Anyone who builds a cube knows, about complicate, um, and what kind of market space they have, how many times they've been reprinted. Used to look at deck lists all the time, just lots and lots of deck lists. Just because I think the more information you have, the more of that gut feeling you can get when you see something and you say, "Ooh, this is a really interesting card right here." This is seen play in Legacy Miracles, now the new version. I like this card a lot. I've always liked it since it was printed. Let's see what the price is at right now. If it's another $10 card, we got to pass. Um, okay, this has been reprinted a lot. It's in the Commander's Anthology. It's in this Commander and this Eternal Masters. And it looks like there's not too many on the market still, because even though this has been printed and it's a rare, it hasn't been printed in any mass printing sets. Like, you know, the availability of this card, even as at rare, is a lot different than like a rare in Amonkhet, because Amonkhet is printed so much more than even this Commander and Eternal Masters combined. Let's see what the foil price. That's what I wanted to get at. So Commander's not going to have a foil price. The only foil available will be the Eternal Masters, which is making, yeah, okay. I was gonna say it's making a good cocktail for a good juicy foil. Because like I said, this card sees play in Legacy. Legacy is a foil format. It's an eternal format, so that means that you know, people build a deck, they invest in a deck, they play the same deck over and over again for a long time. So that means that they can invest in foil copies. Standard's not a foil format because, you buy foil copies and then when it rotates, you just take a huge beating. So when you're looking at stuff like this, how many copies do we have of this so far? One. None in the board. That's only one deck list, but, a lot of these things, you're probably not going to see four copies anywhere. There's two. None in the board. Still looking through here. Three. Wow. That tells me something. This is not decided upon. We're gonna take this. We're gonna put that in the spreadsheet. Now, what you don't see off screen is I got a spreadsheet. What I got going on here is a spreadsheet. See, and just putting cards in that spreadsheet, and we're gonna put the prices here. This is a $9 foil. I'm gonna mark that there. Uh, Evolution was $1.74. And I'm really curious about this foil now, this card, because what this is telling me when I look at these different deck lists is that the number of this card is not decided on. Three here. See, it's been like two, one, three, two, none in the board. I always look at the board because that usually is it's kind of an extension. It's usually when someone's not trying to decide if it's two or three in the main, they usually sometimes stick one in the board. Three here. It's starting to look like being on the other end of that, on the higher end. And, being played as a three of and also being viable in Commander, um, put target non-land permanent on top of its owner's library just beneath the top X cards of that library. So basically for 2 mana, you can just throw it on top of the library, or you can bury it for even more mana. I like this card. It's on the list. One thing that I want to do is I want to research other foils that are played in Legacy that are only printed as foil in Eternal Masters. Because that will give me a good view of this. The reason why this has room to grow is because the new Miracles deck is a new deck. People are still trying to figure out numbers. They're still trying to figure out if it's even going to be a viable deck. Once that thing consistently puts up results, it's going to cement itself in the playscape of Legacy, and then what you'll start to see is more people just jumping on board, right? All the people who are on the fence and saying, "Oh, well, I'm not sure about that," they're going to jump on board and they're going to start buying up the cards needed. And it's a lot of these Legacy players have foils of everything else. Not a lot of them, but whoever plays foils in Legacy, they have foils. So when it's time to jump into this deck, they're going to say, "Well, I need three unexpectedly absent foils, and this could easily be, a $25 foil." So if we look at the availability of stock here, if we just click foil and just look at how many foils are available on TCG Player, yeah, look at this is yeah, this is happening. This is happening as we speak. This is the last $10 foil of this card. Let's see. I'm probably gonna buy that foil right now. Yep, yep, yep. See, this is how it happens. This is how it happens when you start to And this is not, I haven't seen anything about this in the MTG Finance realms, right? This is what I'm talking about. It's like you want to get ahead of the trends before people start to look at online. It's already higher than it is on paper because, people online are playing legacy. Paper always takes a little bit of time to catch up in the market. Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna pull the trigger on this one. I'll probably do it after we conclude the video because I don't know what kind of information is going to be shown when I click on that. Okay, so this is definitely on the list. As you can see, the boat has sailed. I mean, like I said, at $9, I started to really like that foil, but here it is. Like it's already 20 bucks, and it's not going to stop. It'll go up to 25. Like if it's already at this point in the development of this deck, um, it's going to start getting ugly. Okay, cool. So that's a neat find, and that's based solely on Legacy. Now, it's also here in this Commander deck, and it will be played in Commander. So so I think it's a great I think that's a great way to end the episode. I'll end it on that. I'm gonna go buy that Unexpectedly Absent, and then you know if you like these kind of episodes, let me know. Uh, I'll probably keep digging. Maybe I'll make another one because I have to keep looking. I have to find something that I'm going to invest in. So, um, thanks for joining. I'll see you maybe next time.